Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Miled Eats. I'm Miled, we'll be eating, and today we're going to be making pear gorgonzola ravioli. I was challenged to make this dish because apparently it's fancy, but it was very easy. The pasta was very well worth the work I put into it, and so enjoy the video. Alright, so first thing you're going to do is you're going to peel some pears. You'll be using 2 ripe pears, the riper the better. And you're gonna slice them in half and do the right thing and core them, because I did not, and it made it a little bit harder for me. Slice them and dice them and set them aside. If you won't be using them, make sure to put them in water so that they don't brown. Then you're gonna melt 3 tablespoons of butter into a skillet over medium heat, and then add your pears. Saute for about 5 minutes, and then add your thyme sprigs and saute for another 5 minutes or until the pears are softened. Once softened, remove the thyme sprigs. Then add your crumbled Gorgonzola cheese over the pears and cook and stir until melted, which takes about 2 to 3 minutes. Once it's melted, remove the skillet from heat and cool filling completely on the side. Hi, you might be wondering why I'm making pear Gorgonzola ravioli. Well, you see, you don't have to make pear Gorgonzola ravioli. You can make whatever type of ravioli you want. All you have to do is change this step. So if you want ricotta spinach ravioli, you can make ricotta spinach ravioli. If you want apple blue cheese ravioli, you can make that too. That's the beauty of cooking. You can do whatever you want. So if you don't like pear Gorgonzola ravioli, feel free to fill it with whatever you want. And now let's make some fresh pasta. Take 2 cups of double O flour or all-purpose flour and create a well using the bottom of a bowl in the middle of the mound. Then you're going to use 2 eggs and 3 egg yolks and crack those into a bowl. The fresher the eggs, the better. Then whisk the eggs until there's no more white streaks remaining. Season with about a teaspoon of salt. And then pour the egg mixture in the middle of the well. Use a fork and start gradually adding some of the surrounding flour into the egg mixture. Add more and more until the egg mixture is thick. If some of the egg mixture accidentally spills out, don't worry about it, just use your hands and add them back in. Once your mixture is thick enough, start using your hands and add the remaining flour into the dough. If the dough seems a little dry, you can add an extra egg yolk or a little bit of water to help that combine. You're going to knead the dough for about 10 minutes or until the dough is smooth and elastic. Knead and 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 knead again. Once your dough looks like this, form it into a ball. Realize you're out of plastic wrap. Freak out for 2 seconds and then just wing it. Let that rest for 30 minutes and then go have a drink. You deserve it after all that kneading. After 30 minutes, when you're ready to roll the dough, use a knife to cut it into 3 equal pieces and wrap the remaining 2 pieces so they don't dry out. Then you're going to feed the dough through the pasta maker on the widest setting and then fold it into thirds like an envelope, and then keep feeding it through the pasta maker, gradually reducing the setting until the pasta reaches the thinnest thickness. If the dough gets sticky, just add a little bit of flour to help you with the process. And if the dough sheet gets too long to handle, just slice them in half and work on the remaining slices. To fill the ravioli, you're going to drop about 1 teaspoon of the pear mixture onto the sheet, spacing about 1 inch in between each drop. And then repeat the process until you run out of space. And make sure not to add too much liquid cheese, otherwise the raviolis will explode. Brush the space around the filling with either water or egg wash. I use egg wash because why not, you know? Then you're going to fold your empty half of the pasta on top of the filling, making sure not to disrupt the filling. Then gently squeeze out the air around the filling and press firmly with your hands to seal the edges and all dough around the filling. Cut the ravioli into squares using a ravioli cutter or a pizza cutter if you don't have one, and then transfer the ravioli to a floured plate or board. This way the ravioli doesn't stick to each other or the plate. For this dish, we're going to be making a brown butter sage sauce, which is very easy. It's just butter, sage, and salt. You let the butter cook for a while on the skillet, and then that's how it browns. It's super delicious, but if you don't like brown butter sage, you could make a butter lemon sauce, or you could just eat it plain. Or if you really want to, you can have marinara sauce, but it doesn't really work with the fillings, but I'll leave that up to you. Add about 4 tablespoons of butter to a pan and let that melt over medium heat, and then add your sage leaves, about 2 sprigs, and let that cook until the butter turns brown. Meanwhile, bring a saucepan of lightly salted water to a boil and gently add your ravioli. Work in batches so that the ravioli doesn't crowd. Cook until the ravioli floats to the top, which should take about 3 minutes. Then, using a slotted spoon, remove the ravioli and add it straight to the butter sauce. Stir to coat and then serve with freshly grated Parmesan cheese on top. And finally, top it off with a fresh sage leaf, just for appearances. Alright, and that's how you make pear gorgonzola ravioli. It smells really good, and I'm a big fan of pasta, so let's try this dish. Oh, that's so good. The sweetness of the pear with the saltiness of the cheese. It's a very good dish. If you want to impress anyone, you should try to make this dish. And if you like this video, give it a thumbs up. If you hated it, give it a thumbs down. And I'll see you next time on Miled Eats.